it seems like this seems to be the only way I'm getting my readings out. I can't seem to type so well anymore, but I love the questions that you ask me. So, but what is the pros and cons of me staying in my current course of holding a number of practices as complements to each other? Is this okay? I don't know if I understand the question. Okay. Okay, let's say, what's his advice? Ooh, that's a hard question the way you framed it. Oh, God, let's see. My question is about the pros and cons of staying in my present course of holding a number of practices. But that's not a question. Okay, so what advice do you have for this individual? The best advice in regards to his current spiritual practice. Best advice. Ooh, I love this card. As how you tend to your spiritual practice. What's important is the action of your material practice. It's not so important either way that you zero in or hold a number. What is important is, like, this is often a card that's referred to as to tending to your garden. But with this one, I see a little bird up there, so she's in the woods talking to spirit. She's talking to a bird. That's her. But she's doing it. You know what I mean? So it's more about the action. It's more about what thoughts are in your head. It's more about the physical and practical actions that you do to tend to your garden, to tend to the seeds. But 7 is a very spiritual number, by the way. 7 heavens. It's mentioned in the Bible a lot, the number 7. So I feel like you got a really direct answer for sure. It's not about either way. It's not about focusing on the pros and cons. It's about the action and the intent and what you tend to, how you tend to it. And it's often referred to as a garden. Are you pulling out the weeds? Are you feeding your garden the best soil? Are you happy when you're in your garden? So, do you understand that analogy? I'm sorry about my voice. Okay, next question. I loved how that question came out. Okay, I'm just going to be silent for a minute. Okay. Yes, it's a very valid question about relationships. And I think we're living in a lonely world right now. We all want relationships as much as we say we don't, or as much as we get a certain age and we start to feel like we're desperados, or people think we're silly for wanting a relationship at our age, or whatever. And I know you're happy being on your own. We've all mastered that. Love yourself, haven't we? We're sick of it, right? Um, so I'm just trying to get, so that's what the universe has to say so far. That your question is perfectly valid. He would like a relationship. What can he do to draw in the person of his dreams? His absolute advice to have that person of his dreams arrive in his life. Well, I heard be more aggressive. And you got, well, these are the four fates, the four winds, or the four directions: the ear, the sea, the wind. But this is giving a vibe of like applying a little bit of magic, working with the four elements, doing a spell. But it's also about giving out love. This is, when I applied as what's your biggest advice, you got the love card of the deck. The Ace of Cups is the love card of the deck. So I think it's a matter, well, it gives me a real vibe of doing a spell, which is, okay, I'm not a witch, so I don't do spells, but this is what this card, it's the four elements. It's working with the four elements. If you know the medicine wheel, or you know, in different modalities around the world, but we're made of those four elements. It's working with the energy of emotion. It's attraction. It's telling you, you know, you need to pimp up your kind of aura full of, with love. It, I think you need to put the vibe out there a little bit stronger and examine, because, like, your wording, how you word your question, is very telling. I've gone through this thing. I love myself. I know I don't need a partner. I know I can make this on my own. I know I don't need anybody else. But so you're making up excuses. It's almost like you're presenting like enough's enough. I've had enough of this. Like, but it's really telling you that you definitely have the ability to have a relationship. Let me see. And you got the love card, the whole number one love card. So I would say just start projecting love. Just start in your head. Just, okay, I'm in that relationship. I'm in it now, you know, type of thing. I would love to see this people all together. Let's give, what can he do? What can he do? Like, he's had enough of being alone. What is he to do? And not that I'm not taking that as your primary instruction, but I'd like this one. Ooh, this is an interesting card, because this is a very standoffish type of person. This person gives off a vibe of being independent. This person gives off the same vibe as your email did, your question did. It's you got that sword in front of you, you got a wall in front of you, that you need to switch up your energy. But it can also be telling you that there is, you know, there is a queen around you. Let me see what these unicorn cards are telling you in regards to relationship. But I think we got it, bam. Yes, you got the magic card again. You got the magic card. There's magic around you. Expect excitement and joy. So again, that expectation is brought up. Like you need to really supercharge your energy and start giving out that love juice. Like, do you understand what I mean? Like that it's so pouring out of your pores almost. Like everybody knows that, and I don't mean just romantically. I mean like for some reason you become magnetic to people is the image that I'm being given. So you want to do up your energy like that. Is it you? And when I get these four directions, that's like yoga. It's the medicine wheel. It's working with the four energies like the magician. Okay, now I'm going to move away from that because to me it's very clear. Witchy poo. I don't do witchcraft, I don't do spells, but there are different ways of doing spells. Uh, like to me, when you do a love spell, you got to be careful. You don't do it towards a certain person. But I think for me, it's more about supercharging your own energy and just being loving at all times and expecting it. Okay, given that I've been single for many years, there's something I'm doing. Yes, your third question addressed what I just. Okay, I didn't even see that third question. I'm just reading it now. I've been single for a number of years. There's something I'm doing or an energy I'm carrying that blocks romantic possibilities. Yes! What am I to do? Okay, good. I like how you worded it. What can you do to release the blocks, the barriers? What can you do? Because definitely there's a barrier and you know it. What? Okay, so I think those cards did answer, but we're going to ask directly how you said it. But you know it. What can you do to release those barriers? And like know that we're all stuck in that energy. It's a very collective thing. So it's in our best interest for soon as more people can break down those barriers, then we're going to have love return to our world. But right now, holy cow, everybody wants a relationship, but nobody seems to be able to do it. What must he do to break down that energy that he's given off, that queen with the sword in front of him, that independent, I'm okay alone either way? What can he do to break down the barriers to having a relationship? That energy that's what can he do? What can he do? You got a seven again. Remember I told you sevens being spiritual. So this is the chariot card. So this person is often going somewhere, but it's about energy when you're working with the chariot because he's on that big load. He has to balance and he's dependent on that ram. If the ram loses his footing, if this load shifts, if this little. Oh, guys, I'm cutting it in and out. I'm going to end this. Be determined. You're determined. You're just going to knock all the energy out of the way. Poof. So it's kind of an eerie, fairy card. It's not as grounded in earth life, but this is what it's telling you. This person has to be, he's in the sky, but connected to the ground too. But he's not connected to the ground with his own energy. You understand that? So this has a lot to do with on it bad enough.